Welcome to the More Phenomenal podcast, where we talk Power Rangers, comics, episodes, action figures, and more. I'm joined with my co-host Mac. How are you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. You got the bed vibe going on?
Yeah, this is the only place I can be today. To be private, to have privacy. So I'm sitting in bed. I'm very comfy. I'm very comfy this week.
Nice. I know. I was like, since we're gonna be playing these on YouTube now, I was like, oh, like I feel legit with my figures, but I think what I need is like a helmet or like the Legacy Dragon Dagger, because I feel like I'm not a YouTuber unless I have like one of those
Oh,
in the
good
bag
point. Good
behind
point.
me.
I'll have to get my Zoom background going uh, and see if I can make it like the command center, and then I don't have to worry about buying stuff.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to talk about
Yes.
another Fan Friday yesterday.
Yes.
The Marvel Legends Fan
That
Friday.
was You totally called it too. There was probably twice the announcements, uh, and some pretty cool looking stuff. I'm pretty excited.
Yeah.
I need to buy all this stuff.
I was lucky. I got my pre-orders in for Spider-Man and Green Goblin before they sold out on Hasbro Pulse.
Oh, really? Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, again, I'm just gonna have to get that through work. But
Yeah.
that is awesome.
Yeah. So let's talk about some of the things they announced. They
Okay, never
announced
mind. Go ahead.
they announced and I'll probably brush over some stuff, so sorry. Hawkeye, old man
Uh,
Hawkeye.
yeah. The cool thing is that we had seen Old Man Hawkeye at
Toy
gosh,
Fair?
was it Toy Fair? Yeah.
Yeah.
And the head they had it displayed with was the one from the Old Man Hawkeye miniseries.
Hmm.
But then when they showed it during the announcement, it revealed the other alternate head, which is his likeness from like the original Old Man Logan graphic novel.
Mm.
So it's kind of cool because you're getting like both Hawkeyes. And do you know about the new pinless system that they're going with?
I heard them talk about it with Rogue, like you can't see the pins.
Yes, and
Yeah.
Hawkeye's the same. Hawkeye, if you look at Hawkeye's arms, you will notice that there's no pins, which is a bummer because as great as this new Spider-Man is, it's like now I have to wait for them to integrate this system for it to be perfect. Because I still color the rings on my pins blue on my Spider
Oh.
because they're always red.
Uh-huh.
So I have like a little Gundam marker and I always make it blue.
Huh. I
But
guess I've never paid that much attention to those, to the pins. But I did
anyway,
notice someone point them out that the pins were still on Spider-Man, and they're like, "Hey, what the heck?"
yeah, but it's still like I can't wait to get that figure. That whole wave is really shaping up cool. It makes me hopeful about like a second wave of those classic Spidey guys. It's like,
Mhm.
oh, they're gonna really hit their stride.
Yeah.
Um,
They talked more. I mean, they said there'll be more retro
yeah,
waves, but they didn't necessarily say it would be like Spider-Man retro. So
that makes sense.
I feel like they're so gung ho about re-releasing X-Men that you'll get like an X-Men the animated series.
Yeah, you're right. I mean, they'd already done that one sort of like Toy Biz styled retro series for X-Men. So I wouldn't be surprised if they did that again. I
Yeah.
mean, if they did keep this up though, like what's obviously really cool about these Spider-Man figures is that like you're sort of alluding to, they're definitely styled after the animated series,
Hmm.
but they seem to find a middle ground between like a classic comic appearance and the animated series. It's like not quite either, it's like somewhere in between.
Like
And
well, Daredevil is like a comic version.
Daredevil's straight a comic version, but like when you look at the box art, they're still trying to draw him like he was in a cartoon, which
Mhm.
obviously that never happened. But like it's similar with like the repackaged Kingpin Build-A-Figure
Mhm.
isn't quite the animated series deco, but it's like iconic deco. But they're gonna design the box as if it's from the cartoon or whatever. So
Yeah.
so I'd be curious to see who else gets that treatment. Because because like Electro is like a character that didn't really show up in that cartoon that much, but didn't have a great first release, so everyone's
Hmm.
excited to get that.
Yeah. Are those Peter Parker glasses removable?
I don't think so. I
I
don't
looked
know.
on the back of the on the carding on the back. It
Yeah,
looked like it was like you could. It showed how you could swap heads, and the
yeah.
picture they used was he didn't have the glasses on.
Maybe they do come off then. I
Yeah.
mean, like the figure's value would go up, in my opinion, if the glasses are removable. Because the first thing I want to do when I get it is put that other Marvel Legends Peter Parker head on it because I
Hmm.
like that one so much.
He looks like um, I don't know if you well since you're wearing a Dragon Ball Z shirt, there was one like Gohan figure that they had that like if you took the glasses off, there was just a hole in his head because there was like a peg to put the glasses on.
Oh, for like the Great Saiyaman sunglasses, you
it,
mean?
no, it was
Yeah.
like it was a import like one that had like 3 points of articulation, like the arms just went like that, you know?
Right, right,
Yeah.
right. But it was this big annoying hole.
Yeah.
Well, they haven't. Marvel Legends hasn't done removable glasses so far in other waves, but I think that they could definitely pull it off with pegs in the sides of the head.
Yeah.
So
So I
uh,
was just wondering. I don't know how those glasses are on.
I don't know.
Um, yeah. So okay, so we got that. Moon Knight. It seems to be like people are kind of like freaking out over.
I'm very excited about the Moon Knight. I have the other Moon Knight that they did, the more modern costume. But
Mm,
yeah, this is like the quintessential Moon Knight. It's going to be, I mean, it's basically the perfect Moon Knight for any fan of the character from the '70s, like basically up through like the mid 2000s, the early
hmm.
2000s. So like even though sometimes he wears a black jumpsuit, having the alternate black or white head, I think it's sweet. Yeah,
Hmm.
I'm definitely gonna try to. Is what's the deal with him? Is he like a Walgreens thing or something?
Yeah, he's a Walgreens thing, and he like sold out within like a few minutes, and then they re-put him up because something like an error happened, and then he sold out again. So I think people were just frustrated.
Well, they always make a ton of those Walgreens guys. I wouldn't be worried about getting it eventually.
Hmm. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the Walgreens Obi-Wan is kind of
Hmm.
hard to come by, right?
Yeah, maybe they've gotten less. Maybe they've gotten better about making less of them, but I don't know. I mean, at the same time, just keep checking your local Walgreens. I feel like
Yeah,
that's probably if it's selling out online, I would just yeah.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I go to my Walgreens sometimes. I just go to the aisle, and they have pretty good Marvel Legends figures.
I know. I mean, I'm always hoping to find like a Silver Surfer there by accident, you know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. Cool. And then we got the Apocalypse.
the to round out that Age of Apocalypse wave
Mm,
that they did, which is cool. I'm not like especially a huge fan of those costume designs,
mm,
but I'm glad that people. I know it's really popular, so I'm happy for the people that do like it and that they're
yeah.
getting everybody. But
Yeah, I pre-ordered Apocalypse because I don't have one.
oh
So
yeah, yeah, the Build a Figure one.
yeah,
Yeah,
so I was like, this is the best price I'm ever gonna get one for, you know?
it's
And,
true.
and
It comes with a
then
bunch of cool stuff too.
yeah, it
It's like
does.
yeah,
Yeah. Uh, but the Age of Apocalypse line that's out now, like I don't care for any of those, anyone in that
yeah.
line. Yeah.
We were talking the other day about collecting just like various Wolverine incarnations,
Hmm.
and I think that would be the only Age of Apocalypse figure I would buy just for the sake of having like one more Wolverine, you know,
Hmm.
getting like that version. But yeah, or maybe like morph or something like characters that kind of are in like other comics using those looks. But yeah, they're not really for me. The figure I'm really stoked about though is that new War Machine, the
Hmm.
classic War Machine.
Yeah, I like all the accessories that come with it, but I'm not sure it's on my total to get list right now.
Yeah, I mean, I like James Rhodes a lot, or I mean, I like that,
Hmm.
and like that's like the best War Machine costume. And
Hmm.
so I think that if like when I saw all the announcements, I was like, okay, other than like Spider-Man and Moon Knight, I think that he'd be the one that I would go after. But like you
Yeah.
said, maybe the accessories are the things that are just putting me over the edge. Like, oh, I'm gonna give his rocket thrusters to Iron Man or whatever. You
Yeah.
know,
Yeah, he looks cool.
he looks really cool.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I do need a War Machine in my collection too, so when it comes down to it, I'll probably end up getting him.
What's his deal too? Is he just a single release?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah. I
yeah.
don't think he's an exclusive or anything. I could be
I think
wrong though.
I think those things come in like cases of 4 or 5 or something when you order them. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's like the ride the vehicle sets that they've been doing.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah. Who else was there that I may
um,
be missing?
there
I
was
was
some
I was disappointed no releases for the X-Men guys for that
for
movie.
the movie guys. I
Yeah.
know they'll be going up for pre-order soon anyway. But they showed Rogue. I think that's like the only X-Men other than Apocalypse, and
Oh yeah,
they
Rogue. They got her new her hair right is what
hmm
they yeah.
and so that's going to be that was like a fan vote or something, or am I wrong about that? I don't
Let's say
know.
it was.
Yeah, yeah. I thought that's what that costume or why they were doing that because they've been really like building up this Rogue as like a single figure, so I wasn't
Mhm.
sure like what her deal was,
Oh.
other than the pinless thing. And they announced the AIM figure, which was cool because they had done
Mm.
the Hydra soldier, so now they're doing like the AIM soldier,
Hmm.
so people could do army building. It's sort of like it's sort of similar to the putty announcement, but kind of annoying that Marvel Legends has got it so streamlined that you can buy this like affordable, like the packaging is literally just for shipping the figure. It's literally designed just for army building, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
But maybe we'll get that putty like that eventually, you know, with all
Yeah.
the accessories.
Like a Z putty or something.
Good point. Or maybe just a removable like chest piece or something.
Oh yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
But it's funny, just to go back to it. Like this was like an hour live stream thing, and it's
Yeah.
funny the Power Rangers one was like, "Here's a 4 minute video."
Yeah, here we go. Yeah. But I mean, Marvel is so huge
Yeah,
that I get it.
yeah,
But yeah, Green Goblin. You got Green Goblin too.
yeah. I got so the ones I pre-ordered were Green Goblin, Spider Man, and the
Peter.
Apocalypse. Yeah,
Oh, you didn't get Peter Parker.
no, it was on my. I ended up not, but I remember having that figure as a kid, so I want it.
I'm
At
gonna
some
get
point,
it.
I'll end up getting them. Yeah, down the line.
I- I've always wanted like the perfect Peter Parker, so he's definitely like in the step to making that figure.
He has
And yeah,
like he has like the body of the.
of the Stan Lee.
Oh really? I was thinking like
Yeah.
The DC Jesse Eisenberg, Lex
Oh
Luthor.
yeah, yeah, yeah. He does look like that. Maybe I'll buy that figure so he can have a T-shirt instead of the button-up shirt.
Yeah,
Um, but yeah, that's the body of the Stan Lee Marvel Legend that they made, which
cool.
is a decent idea to repack it as Peter Parker. I'm not. It's got so many articulation points. It's like wasted on Stan Lee.
Yeah,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
yeah. The only two other things was that it looks like they're having to shift some things around because obviously the Eternals movie isn't coming out when it was supposed to, so that like
Hmm.
whole figure line is getting shifted to match the release date.
Okay.
So I wonder,
Cool.
like, I think they might have to move one forward then, right? Or like fill in that gap.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like Marvel Legends is so many figures probably scheduled down the pipeline that they'll just bump something else, some other repaint or repack or some tweak or whatever.
Mm,
Um, I mean, like to be honest, I could think of like a whole wave of figures just of just from using things that they've already done that I would want to see like released again. You know,
hmm.
like oh, I need to get that again or
Yeah.
whatever.
I know
So
they said they won't release. It's like a 18-month period before they'll re-release. I think it was like I think
that's
that's what they said.
cool.
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
that's
I mean they all but where is he? Oh, sorry, Putty. They all but
mm,
released like this dude again, but with the jacket, And I
yes,
feel like
that's true.
this guy is gonna just re-release him as is, and you'll be like sell again, you know?
I mean, like if they did what Moon Knight did and they put that head and all of his accessories on one of their more like butterfly shouldered
Hmm.
articulated bodies, then of course it'd be worth it, you know, because it's like, okay, even if I have the other Cyclops, I'm getting one with a more modern articulated body, you know?
Hmm.
So it's like I would go for that for so many characters. Especially because like Worthy Captain America was like a Walmart exclusive or whatever.
Hmm.
And it's like, but like that was like one of the best Chris Evans caps they made. Like there's a lot of like even like MCU guys I would like to get another chance at, you know. But
Yeah.
we'll see.
And I think they've kind of said that with their in the video, like all their retooling and stuff, and how their movie figures are really based off of concept art, and then like so it's not always 100% accurate. So they're like, now
Right.
that these movies are out, they can go back and make some figures with a better head sculpt and a more accurate suit.
The movie figures that come out after the movie are always better. I mean, that's just how it is, you
Hmm.
know. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I mean that's it. It is what it is.
it is what it is.
Yeah, I can't imagine making a video game like as a movie, like when they used to make those video game tie-ins.
Yeah,
I feel like that'd be
yeah.
so hard.
I know. Like when you play the X-Men Origins Wolverine game, you're like, this. What movie did they watch?
Yeah, but that one's one of the ones that like is better, right, than the
Oh, that
movie.
game's awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah, it is. It's fun. It's like, yeah, but probably because it's not like the movie, you
Yeah.
know.
um, but I remember like Captain America: First Avenger, and I think Thor maybe like
Yeah.
had movie tie-ins. Yeah.
I
Um,
think that those two movies and then Iron Man and Iron Man 2 are the only MCU video games
mhm.
because like after that they were like these suck. Like
Yeah.
let's stop doing these.
Yeah. And then the last thing was that tease with the Sentinel leg.
Oh man, I know. I was really hoping I was hoping we would talk about that. Yeah, I the biggest Marvel legend ever is what they claimed, right?
Well, they claim they're making the biggest Build-A-Figure ever, and then they also had this. So those are separate because like that Sentinel leg can't be packaged in a normal.
Oh, so there's going to be the biggest build a figure ever, which is a surprise. We don't know what that is.
Correct.
And then this is the biggest Marvel Legend single figure probably ever
Yeah.
released. But this is going to be a
From how I interpreted it, yeah. Because I mean, they said Build-A-Figure. I mean, this guy, that leg's not going anywhere.
but the Sentinel is going to be one of those like Jabba sail barge things, right? What do you call it?
Probably.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't know. I feel like I, I don't really have interest in it because it's so big. I don't know what I would do with it. I don't know.
I don't I don't
But
think I'll get it. I mean, it's going to be so expensive. I don't even really care about the like 90s animated series era as much as I would like some of the other X-Men, you know? So
Mhm,
it's like I'm tempted not even to get it just for the sake of saying it wouldn't match the Marvel Legends I bought. Like I would want like a
mhm,
more classic styled Sentinel, you know,
mhm.
because this is like a more modern Sentinel. But at the same time, I'm jealous of anyone who gets it. Like it looks awesome. I'm sure it's going to be freaking awesome.
Yeah.
So
That seems like one of those items that if it was like a Comic Con exclusive or something, I would just see people with like two boxes walking around.
I know, just like how are you holding those bags? You
Yeah.
know, like I got 10 of them. Like yeah, they
Yeah.
they wouldn't let me get 11.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know,
Uh,
I know.
but that's cool. I mean, if I was like really good at figure photography or something, I'd have to get it. But
Oh yeah, I mean,
since I'm,
it's especially cool if you have any of those 3/4 inch Marvel Legend guys, you know, because you're like,
mhm,
oh man, he looks so big, you know.
yeah, I saw. I feel like the Star Wars thing is kind of carrying over to Marvel Legends a little bit, like because as I was watching the live stream, there's like the comments, going up, right?
Yeah, yeah.
And someone wrote, "No 4-inch figure announcements again, classic." And I was,
Wait, really? People are people.
yeah,
Nobody bought those.
I know. That's what
You
I
can
was.
Oh my god.
That's
Look,
what I was thinking too. I was like, "Oh, is there a separate?" I get. I mean, I don't like that's such a minority compared to like Star
yeah,
Wars 3/7-inch
three,
figures. Yeah, whatever it
that's
is.
yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I have a bunch of those Marvel Universe figures from when they were coming out because I was like,
Mhm.
oh, they're in scale with Star Wars and GI Joe. So I like buy. I have like a bunch of them, like more than I should. You know, like
Yeah.
like the Avengers and like X-Men, like a bunch of people. You know,
Uh,
and but then I got to a point where I'm like, why am I buying these? Like I'm just putting money into getting everyone I already have as a Marvel Legend. So I'm just gonna keep buying Marvel Legends. Like this money should go towards Marvel Legends. You know,
Yeah,
I was getting characters that I didn't have as 6-inch figures, like Colossus, and I was like, I don't like you because you just make me want a big Colossus. You know,
yeah.
so I didn't know that people were like really fighting for them to bring. They haven't put a new figure into that line in ages. I can't imagine them doing it, you know, anytime soon.
I agree, but I remember my my what are they called?
The
Like that line?
3-inch
Yeah, yeah.
Marvel Universe, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Um, I I was just getting people I already had as Marvel Legends, like
yeah,
the same version of the Wolverine or the Cyclops or whatever,
but just smaller.
just
Yeah,
smaller.
I
Yeah.
know. You're like, oh, astonishing X-Men Wolverine, like because you get tricked into remembering like you really want it as a Marvel Legend, but you've just never seen it as a figure. So you're like, oh, I gotta get it, you know.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That's
some of them are
exactly
really
it. Actually, yeah.
some of them are really cool though. I'm not gonna lie. Some of them are really cool. Like they would do like Cable with the baby and stuff, and it's like those are way cooler than they have any right to be. But then you put all the money into it, and then I don't know. It just they'd have to make them really really cool for me to want to spend money on them again. You know.
Yeah. I don't even think has that line is that been around? Is that
I can't. I remember when like Marvel versus Capcom 4, I guess is what it is, came out.
Mhm.
They did like the Gamerverse 2 packs that had 3-inch quarter,
Mm,
3 3/4 inch
mhm,
guys in there.
mhm.
And those are the last ones I remember them coming out with, especially because it had like the Gamerverse tag and they still use that on like the video game figures that they put out.
Uh-huh.
But yeah, I mean, I can't remember them doing anything since then. It's funny though when you go and you look at those and you're like these are the last ones they'll ever make, and they happen to make like X-Men or they made like Street Fighter and Mega Man characters too.
Yeah.
Anyway,
I think they made some 3-inch figures of like this Homecoming guys, but that was tied into the Gameverse thing. I think that was just to more round out that line.
oh well, maybe they did like 4 points of articulation, guys. I don't know.
Mm.
I don't know.
Regardless, that line's not going like yeah.
They'd have to announce a helicarrier for me to want to buy those guys again. Yeah, but
Yeah. Cool. I think that's all for the Marvel Legends section. I mean, it's really got my itch back for Marvel, and just shows Hasbro's like the only toy line I buy of anything.
I know I had a rant with a coworker the other day about how like I think we were talking about it too, just like how spiteful and mean it is that DC won't give us a 6-inch scale figure,
Mhm.
you know? And it's like, what am I supposed to shave the ankles off of my my DC Direct guy or my DC Collectibles guys? And it just makes me. It's like all you want me to do is spend more money on Hasbro. You
Yeah.
know, that's all you want. It's like because they're making everybody in the same scale. I'm about to get the Ghostbusters. Like we're gonna get an Ecto 1 that can fit 4 Ghostbusters before I get one Batman that can fight my Spider-Man. You
Yeah.
know, but whatever.
Yeah. It is what it is. Good
It is
job.
what it
Good
is.
job on you, Hasbro, for
That,
get it.
that that being said, DC Collectibles makes cool figures too.
Yeah.
But Hasbro, yes, thanks for doing that.
Yeah. Cool. So we'll probably do more videos like this for our YouTube channel. And so if you stuck around, subscribe and check out our channel and our podcast where we talk Power Rangers.
You know you want to.
Yes, that's
Yeah.
it.
You got
Cool.
nothing else to do?
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though we talked about Marvel, it's still not less phenomenal. It's more phenomenal.
And also, we talk about the Lightning Collection way more than Marvel.
Yeah.
The scales have not tipped. Don't worry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.